And here to talk more about the push and about the contributions of R&B, or rhythm and blues, is Dyana Williams, co-founder and president of the International Association of African American Music, and she joins us from NBC affiliate WCAU in Philadelphia. Good morning to you, Dyana. Thanks for being with us on the night
Good morning
side.
to you.
All right, well,
it's great to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. Black Music Month has actually been celebrated now for about 18 years. So why is it that there's a need to officially recognize it?
Well, the African American music industry, as you mentioned in your introduction, is a $1 billion industry. And an article released in today's Billboard magazine written by the black music editor, J.R. Reynolds, about my organization, I Am, he cites that black music accounts for 21% of overall record sales globally. That's pretty significant when we consider America's indigenous musical forms such as jazz, hip-hop, gospel, pop music. When you look at the top of the charts, pop music artists are Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Tina Turner, Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, the list goes on. I think it's very important that we recognize the outstanding contributions of people in the past, such as Little Richard, Bo Diddley, countless other people like Marvin Gaye, and the list is rather long, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, people now and people coming up, because it is a very formidable industry that's made a sizable contribution to America's domestic revenues as well as international sales, and had a great impact on culture.
Yes, it has indeed, and in fact, the artists that you mentioned are really considered crossover musicians and artists. So why separate it, playing devil's advocate here, into a black music category?
Well, unfortunately, Tanya, the distinction and the separation was made a long time ago, and it wasn't made by me. I would tell you that I'd love to see a banning of categories, but we live in a world, human beings like to categorize. We like to say, this is that, and this is this particular type of food or music or dance or whatever. We do categorize, and unfortunately there is a separation, but you're absolutely correct. Pop music artists tend to be a lot of African American artists. Seal, these are black artists. And unfortunately, the budgets are different. When a person is signed to a black music division, it's an entirely different kind of budget than when they're signed by the pop division. And oftentimes, for instance, I'll give you Whitney Houston. She was signed and then crossed over and then became a pop artist at Arista, which is her record company, and treated entirely different. And the black music division doesn't have the same interaction with her as the her white pop counterparts at the record label.
Dyana, tell us now about the resolution written by Representative John Conyers of Michigan.
10 years ago, John Conyers wrote legislation which recognizes jazz as an American treasure and art form. Recently, Sheila Eldridge, myself, and Congressman Shaka Fattah have written House Resolution 27, which recognizes all genres of African American music, and it was introduced into the Senate by Senator Arlen Specter this past week. He is the Republican senator from the state of Pennsylvania, which is where my organization, I Am, is based. So this legislation is important because corporations look at the musical forms differently, as well as the greater society.
Okay, and obviously you have some very strong backers when it comes to this legislation, and we want to wish you good luck in your efforts.
Thank you so much, Tanya. It's been great being here with you.
Thank you. Dyana Williams, co-founder and president of I Am, International Association of African American Music. Thanks for being here.
And I'm wondering whether or not black folks are still actually buying black music.
I saw statistics recently that SoundScan said that white males buy more rap music than anyone else. However, African Americans are still consumers and drive the music business as well. But we do have a sizable number of white people who blew up rap music. It wasn't just black people. Those numbers indicate that it was white people in suburbia that had as much interest and inclination to buy the music as black people. Hit music is hit music. You need to really scrutinize your music. And if it's a hit, a lot of independent companies get gobbled up by majors because they're producing the hit music. And so you've got to really be very honest with yourself, have other people listen to your music, and not necessarily your family and friends. You need to go to clubs. If the DJs in the clubs play your music, that means they like it. If the people respond to the music, that means it's music that you can take legitimately on a music day to a music director, and it should be added to the rotation.
Lloyd in Virginia, thanks for holding you on BET Talk.
Consumers are very powerful, and African American consumers do not recognize the very power that they have. It's called the music business, and understand, for particularly artists that are interested in getting into the industry, learn the business part, read contracts, study as much as you can, talk to everyone. Knowledge is power, and the more knowledgeable you are, the better it is. You'll have better opportunity in the industry.
Jack the Rapper, Dyana Williams, thanks for being here tonight. Good to see you both. We'll talk to you again soon, I hope.
Yeah, and it's a presidential election year, and elections going on all over the country. We have a voter registration initiative, and one of our objectives with this weekend is to create a marriage between the political people and the entertainment industry, and to bring more awareness in our community that we need to register and vote to help affect change. And it is important. A lot of people died for the right. In fact, in South Africa, 2 years ago, they just got the right to vote, and it's something that we should not take for granted.